I got to get back to doing my thing with these books on my desk. I'm sorry to say, every time you see a video here, the books have moved around, but there aren't necessarily fewer books on the desk. But you know, I just saw a really nice moment in an interview between Taxstone and Karen Civil. I didn't see it, I heard it. This is on a podcast. Taxstone is basically a radio personality. And he's one of these guys who acts a fool, who, if anything, exaggerates the sense in which he's an idiot. You know, it's part of his personality as a media figure. But underneath the act, of course, doesn't mean he's all that bright. He's talking to this woman, Karen Civil, and she says that she tried being vegan for 90 days, and now she's thinking about making the transition back to eating meat. And Taxstone, you can just hear the contempt in his voice. He just has really short, immediate reaction. It's like, transitioning back? Like, you're transitioning to eating meat? You know, it means more to me because Taxstone is a knucklehead, is a bit of an idiot. You know, I mean, I did a video here in the past talking about Styles P becoming vegan, and Styles P isn't all the way vegan. He's not 100%. I think he still wears leather shoes and stuff like that. But Styles P's an influential guy. He's been in and out of jail. He's a bit of a knucklehead. He's a bit of a violent character. I think he himself wouldn't claim to be an intellectual or a very smart guy. Styles P was a direct influence on Taxstone, the guy I'm mentioning right now, in terms of moving towards veganism. Taxstone, not 100% vegan, not all the way vegan. Still eats meat, but he thinks of himself as being in that transition. He sees already the moral significance, the ethical and ecological significance of not eating meat, not eating dairy. And that puts him in a totally different category from someone who has been 100% vegan, but who just did it as a 90-day challenge. And in that moment, you can hear that, even though it's just, what? You know, like to him, transition means something different. To him, veganism means something different, even though he's still eating meat. Russell Simmons, complete idiot. I'm sorry. If you're a fan of the guy, fine. He's a cultural icon. But listen to the interviews Russell Simmons has given. Russell Simmons gave an interview to Taxstone about being vegan. Okay? Number one, Russell Simmons is an idiot. Number two, what he has to say about being vegan is completely incoherent. If anything, it's somewhat embarrassing to the vegan movement and discredits the vegan movement. But hey, he's sincere. And number three, Russell Simmons is not 100% vegan. He's preaching it, but he still eats fish. He still eats meat once in a while. I'd be shocked if he didn't wear leather once in a while too, to be perfectly honest with you. You can look through Instagram or something and see if you've got any photos catching him wearing leather. But still, he recognizes the ethical significance. He recognizes the ecological significance. To him, this is not just a diet, even though he isn't all the way into the diet yet. If ever. Man, hearing complete idiots sign on with veganism gives me hope for the future. If veganism could only work for brilliant people, if veganism could only work for intellectuals who waste their time with a stack of books like this, it would be doomed. It would be doomed. Nobody ever lost a fortune underestimating the intelligence of the American people. You want to embrace the masses? You want to be embraced by the masses? You got to come up with something that in praxis the average idiot can embrace, can get down with. John Salley, ex-NBA player, heard him on Charlemagne the God's show, Power 105 Radio, being interviewed. John Salley, completely incoherent defense of veganism. The radio personality, Charlemagne, is interviewing him, asking, so, why should I go vegan? John Salley drops the ball. He sounds like a fool. Does a terrible job. I'm happy. I love the guy for being up there. I love the guy for giving voice to his principles, for one thing. But again, it's only when idiots become veganism that this thing has any steam, has any power, has any meaning, has any chance of making a difference as a movement. Taxstone, in and out of jail, shootings, stabbings, drug dealing. He's got a straight job now, as basically a radio personality. He's still a fool. It means more to me to hear him repping veganism than to hear some insincere, pseudo-intellectual piece of crap like Sam Harris pretend to rep veganism. It means more to me to hear these idiots being sincere than back when Bill Clinton's phony ass pretended to be vegan so he could lose weight and avoid having a heart attack. These things, man, it ain't deep, but it's real.